2 days before we have discussed about certain questions on law of contract one, and among them certain questions like distinguish between offer and invitation to offer and explain the rules as to communication of proposal and acceptance by post and how they are revoked. So, regarding these questions, as already we have discussed in our previous videos regarding completion of communication of offer and acceptance, we could cite Section 4 of the Indian Contract Act 1872, so also Section 5 dealing with revocation of offer and acceptance and all the essentials of a valid acceptance as provided under Section 7. So also regarding define and explain of free consent and explain and illustrate the contracts forbidden by law and opposed to public policy, write an essay on explanatory note on undue influence, so also explain giving illustrations what constitutes fraud, what is the effect of fraud on a contract, what are the points of distinction between fraud and misrepresentation. Also, we have already discussed in our previous videos under the law of contract and such as under Indian Contract Act 1872 provided regarding free consent under Section 14, so also how there are certain conditions like coercion under Section 15, undue influence under Section 16, and fraud under Section 17, and misrepresentation as provided under Section 18 makes an contract void and voidable. So, there are legal effects of such contracts under Section 19 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 already we have discussed, and regarding that also we already have discussed very important leading case like the Oceanic Steam Navigation Company versus Sundar Das Dharmse in 1890 and the Oriental Banking versus John Fleming in 1879. Also, we discuss regarding unlawful and void agreements and those void agreements and unlawful as these are forbidden by law, and if any agreement defeat any provisions of law and any agreement fraudulent in nature or any agreement causing any injury to any person and property, and if any agreement is immoral in nature and such agreements are unlawful agreements, and so also they are void agreements. And regarding how agreements opposed to public policy, that also we have discussed as to trading with enemy, stapling prosecution, then agreements regarding interference in course of justice, then champerty and maintenance and sale of trafficking in public office and title, and to create monopoly by agreement, and also marriage brokerage agreement and agreement which in one part is lawful and the another part of that agreement is unlawful, and that also we have discussed regarding in the context of opposed to public policy, and there are certain agreements which are not opposed to public policy, like arbitration of foreign law. If in the agreement it is made regarding arbitration of foreign law and regarding arbitrators of foreign country and agreements regarding payment in foreign country, so any suit in the very agreement regarding application of the very jurisdiction of a court and agreements made regarding siege of hypothecated goods and their auction. So all these we have already discussed in our previous video, and also there are certain other questions like as agreements in restraint of trade or legal proceedings and mention the agreement under which they are void, and agreements the meaning of which is not certain or capable of being made certain or void, and explain and illustrate. And the very important question, what is wager? Discuss the validity or otherwise of wagering agreements. So, regarding that also we have discussed under section 30 of the Indian Contract Act 1872 that those agreements which are considered as wagering agreement, and in that context under section 30 we have discussed the Teji Mandi transaction and Pakki Arhat and Kachi Arhat agreements in the Bombay business circle. Then regarding lottery, cheat fund, prize competition, which deals with the competitions relating to any games, sports, puzzle competitions, and competitions such as KBC, etc., which are held in TV shows, soul shows, speculative transaction which consist with share market. So also we have discussed regarding horse racing and up to what context horse racings are also falling under wagering agreement. So also insurance contract, etc., that already we have discussed in our previous videos. Then the question is write an essay on contingent contracts incorporating the provisions of Section 32 to Section 36 of Indian Contract Act regarding them, and discuss the law relating to anticipatory breach of contract. Then that the consideration may proceed from a stranger to the contract, but a person not a party to a contract cannot sue upon it. Explain this statement with reference to Indian law. Then what is the principle of privity of contract, and when is the time of the essence of a contract? Explain the effect of failure to perform a promise in time, when time is the essence of contract and when it is not so. Then explain and illustrate fully the doctrine of supervening impossibility in the performance of a contract. Then write a comprehensive essay on the doctrine of frustration, and regarding that we have already discussed the very topic privity of contract, and regarding the very concept of privity of contract we have discussed the most important leading case like Tweedle versus Atkinson, a case of 1861. Then Dunlop Pneumatic Tires Company Limited versus Self-Ridge Company 1915, which is the most important leading case in relation to privity of contract. Also, we have discussed regarding privity of consideration regarding the stranger to contract, and in connection to that we have discussed two important leading cases like Dutton versus Poole in 1678, and also regarding Chinnaya versus Ramaya, a case of 1882 decided by the Madras High Court. Also found certain exceptions to this privity of contract, such as agreements regarding trust, family settlement, insurance contract, contract of agency, and contract made regarding negotiable instrument acts. Also we have discussed regarding contingent contract, and those contingent contract which falls under section 31 to section 36 of Indian Contract Act. Also we have discussed regarding quasi contract, which we found under section 68 to section 72 of Indian Contract Act. Also regarding doctrine of frustration, as it was provided under section 56 of the Indian Contract Act, and how this doctrine of frustration relates to supervening impossibilities which makes the very contract could not be performed, or there would be difficulty in discharge of obligation as per the contract due to supervening impossibility, and regarding discharge of obligation of the contract as provided under section 37 to section 67 of Indian Contract Act. So we have already discussed regarding breach of contract as provided under section 73 to section 76 of the Indian Contract Act, and which particularly we found in detail under section 73 as damages like general damages, special damages, exemplary damages, or vindictive damages, nominal damages, unliquidated damages, etc. Also we found regarding penalty as mentioned under section 74 of the Indian Contract Act. So almost we have discussed all the provisions of Indian Contract Act regarding those questions that already we have discussed 2 days before, and regarding the very